What's up? So, the key to psychic abilities is to notice those. It begins with noticing those sudden inspirations and um, those like random thoughts you have. Because thoughts really are like messages, and the ideas that you get in your head and the sudden inspirations are psychic. They like everybody's psychic. But if you want to experience more of them and experience ones that can tell you things in the future, start out with those sudden inspirations or those really cool, interesting thoughts you have. Sometimes it's also those feelings you get that are like very inspiring. Whatever feels like light, because to some extent you have to understand that it might sound like it's not even real, but just bear with me. You have to kind of decide which ones are coming from light and which ones are coming from darkness, like angels or demons. You have to use your own intuition, and if if you like the sound of a certain thought you're having or an idea, it makes you feel good, it seems right, it seems good, then it's coming from light. If it seems dark or obsessive or um, just bad, it makes you feel bad or it makes you angry, then that's coming from a dark source, like a demon or something. But the more you do this and the more you pay attention to those sudden inspirations and thoughts and feelings and stuff like that, it can also be like a chatter in your head. Sometimes it'll feel like you're talking to yourself in your head, but what you're really doing is getting a message. Um, the more you notice it and the more you have trust and faith in something so much higher than psychic messages, and that could be God or some kind of universal consciousness or something like that, the more you adhere to that and realize that that consciousness is going to ultimately decide whether or not your vision or message comes true and whether it's going to put something in your life or take something away, you have to understand that this God or this consciousness does that. And every time you have a psychic vision and it doesn't come true, don't like start obsessing like, oh well, now it's all bullshit and all this bad thoughts and all this obsession. You have to kind of like let that go and understand that God is testing you, or that consciousness is putting your faith to the test. Are you going to be able to understand that the universe decides whether or not something comes into your life, like a vision that comes true, or maybe a tangible thing? Or are you going to give up and realize that, or think that um, it's all bullshit? Because even that is a message, that thought you're having, but that's coming from a dark source that's trying to confuse you and pull you into doubt and misery. So yeah, it can also seem like random images that pop up in your head. I get that a lot, and I had a few of them I think come true today. Yeah, and you kind of have to like the thing with visions, like the images in your head, you have to kind of get a feel for what they're trying to tell you because it can be kind of tricky sometimes. And psychic downloads and messages are kind of tricky in general because of the nature of them. Like they don't all come true. They may be like half true, and if they do come true, you shouldn't make that your main focus in life. Because what I personally believe is that what the main focus in life should be is adherence to the Creator, God, the universal consciousness, the cosmic love, the oversoul, the Great Spirit, whatever you want to call it. I call it God because it just feels good. But the more you do this, the more miraculous life becomes. Like you're gonna notice that certain things just randomly happen. Like um, there's also like signs and synchronicities when something pops up in your experience of life, and you feel like it kind of means something. Like, let me think of an example. Um, Say like you're thinking about what should I eat for dinner or something, and you're walking down the block and the guy goes, "Oh yeah, the fish was really good." Maybe that's like a sign that you're meant to eat fish, or like a suggestion from this higher consciousness that you should eat fish, and it's something silly, like, you know. But yeah, more miraculous things will start to come, and I noticed two miraculous things happened today, or a few actually. Like one of them was I left my bedroom to go to the bathroom this morning. The lights were off in my bedroom. I came back and the lights were on, and I got the sudden impression or intuition that it meant focus on the light, on God. See, like that light, like God is with you, and that's just the message I got now. And then I I I left my room again. I came back in and I didn't lock the door when I got in. I just sat on my couch. I closed the door. I sat on my couch and just started watching YouTube videos. And then my mom went to knock on the door. She tried opening the door, but it was locked. I didn't lock it. I know I didn't, because I had no reason to. But it was locked, and I got the intuition or message impression that God is protecting me, because like you can imagine, like no one's intruding. It's like symbolic, because the more you start to connect with this consciousness, and the psychic abilities is one thing, like getting those feelings and thoughts and observing them and realizing their messages, that's one thing. But what's greater than that is the faith in the higher consciousness. I'll make a whole video on that. I don't know when, but at some point. Kind of like, because, you know, a lot of people don't understand that, they don't have a belief that there is a higher consciousness, and omnipresent, omnipotent, all good, all compassionate, all wise, all strong, all powerful consciousness. And it wasn't until just recently, really, that I really realized that. I always kind of knew it, but I didn't focus on it and I didn't adhere to it. But it was only just recently that I was like, yeah, this is real. And it required a leap of faith. But I'll make a whole video on that. But yeah. So just a little video. Peace.